Hey guys, welcome to my channel Ali Invest. How did I buy a $1.2 million condo in Singapore for just $46,126.85? This is not a clickbait. I will share with you exactly how I bought a $1.2 million condo, to be exact $1,199,025, just $75 shy from $1.2 million with just about $46,000. I will give you the exact breakdown on how I did it. Most of you know that buying a condo in Singapore, the hardest part is the initial cash layout, which is 25% that can be paid in cash or CPF. Because in Singapore, the max loan is 75%. So for a $1,199,025 condo, you would have to pay the following: 5% option fees, which is $59,951, 15% when you sign your sales and purchase agreement, which is $179,853, and buyer stamp duty $32,561. Lastly, legal fees, which is $2,500. And because the project that I bought has already completed foundation, I had to pay another 5%, which is another $59,951. Total amount I had to pay is $334,817.25. So how did I only pay about $46,000? Okay, this is how I did it. 6 years ago, I bought High Park Residences at $656,000, and beginning of this year, I sold it at $760,000. So I made a gross profit of $105,000. This is the breakdown on what my sales proceeds looks like. This was done by the lawyer. So for a $760,000 condo, the buyer paid me 1% option fees, which is $7,600. $216,000, this is actually just a reimbursement for my property tax, which I paid for 2021. So the buyer reimbursed me from May when she took over all the way to December. Maintenance fee, which is paid every quarterly. So I paid from April to June. She reimbursed me for May and June, $347. I took a loan from UOB, so I have to repay the remaining amount of $461,277.59. I actually had a small penalty because I refinanced early last year or end of 2019. Small penalty of about $2,000. And then CPF, which is $12,343.86. I'm a self-employed, so I didn't really use much of my CPF. Most of it was paid in cash. The buyer had an agent, so I paid 1% plus GST, which is $8,132. And lastly, legal fees for the lawyer, which actually helped me to complete my sales, $1,900. So total I got back cash is $269,309.59. My net cash and CPF is $288,609.40. That is after adding back up my 1% plus my CPF and minusing out the reimbursement, which is the maintenance and property tax. This one cannot be counted because it's just a reimbursement. I had paid for it earlier on and the buyer actually reimbursed me. So I will not count that into my property sales proceed. So using this about $288,000, I paid off the $334,817 for my $1.2 million condo. Total amount of cash I had to come up with is another $46,126.85. With just this amount, I managed to upgrade from a $656K condo to a $1.2 million condo, almost double the value. The first property is always the hardest. I always recommend people to start as early as possible so that you can rinse and repeat this cycle. And what I mean by rinse and repeat is, we take a look at this example on this property called H2O. It was launched in 2011 and is located at Fernview Link. For those who are unfamiliar, High Park Residences is located at Fernview Road. So Fernview Link is H2O and Fernview Road is High Park Residences. These two projects are very close by. We look at this unit, which is 883 square feet. The buyer bought in 2011 and sold in 2014, profited $110,000. Compared to another buyer who bought the exact same size unit at 883 square feet, bought in April 2012 and sold in August 2019. So she sold about 5 years later. The profit is 96,110 despite her holding on to the property longer. What could she have done? Imagine if she was the buyer that sold in 2014, made $110,000, and then in 2015 when Hyde Park was launched, entered into Hyde Park Residences. We look at this chart, the blue line is H2O and the red line is Hyde Park Residences. You can see H2O, the prices have been increasing when it launched since 2011, launched at about 900 odd per square feet. And it was rising all the way until 2015. You notice after 2015, the prices actually stagnated or even tapered down. From 2015 to 2020, the prices didn't rise much. That is why the buyer that sold 5 years later in 2019 made almost the same amount of profit as the buyer who sold 5 years earlier. Imagine she had entered 2015 into Hyde Park. We see the prices is steadily going up all the way to 2019-2020. These are some of the profitable transactions in Hyde Park. Most of the units in Hyde Park, not just myself, actually made a decent amount of profit. For the buyer that sold for 110k profit, she entered in 2015, June 2015, bought Hyde Park Residences Unit 2539 and sold in 2018, so held on for 4 years, made a profit of $355,000. In total, within this 6 to 7 years span, she would have made $355,000 plus the initial $110,000 which she made from H2O. Total, she would have made $465,000 compared to the owner which held on for the 7 years in H2O, only making $96,000. So $96,000 versus $465,000 profit. Which owner would you want to be? This is what I mean by repeating the cycle. The earlier you start, the easier it is, and the more times you can repeat this cycle. You can repeat it 3, 4, 5 times. If you like this video and you want to know what project I bought, do like and subscribe to my channel, and see you in my next video.